Hello. Welcome back again to our wrestling review show here on the Matt and John Make a Podcast channel. Fresh off of Friday night SmackDown, as of course, talk about that. Monday Night Raw, AEW, and NXT. So let's get off. Start off right with SmackDown that just went off the air not too long ago. I'll say it every week until it's not true. Man, how much better SmackDown is.
Yeah,
Raw.
Yeah, just even the simple things that we talk about all the time, just how things just make so much more sense on the show. And yeah, you can probably nitpick a thing or two, but man, just off of like logic alone, man, and more specifically with the two chamber matches and how they went about and decided who actually participated compared to over on like Raw, where it's like, we're just gonna pretty much pick whomever, and they're already in the match. I mean, and you would think for a show that needs 3 hours to freaking fill every single week, that they would be, hey, let's have some qualifying matches, but no. So basically, this whole show was just basically determining who's going to be inside the elimination chamber, which it was originally going to be our tribal chief defending his title, but Paul Heyman said, no.
The contract states
Yeah.
to defend at Elimination Chamber, not in Elimination Chamber.
So basically, whoever wins that will then go on to face Roman Reigns later in the night, which I think that is a lot better, honestly. And I just don't think that he should be defending his title inside there like number two has to. So it's just and now once the show ended, we had Jay Uso and Kevin Owens. They were basically decided by, and it appears they do not need to like qualify since they have like proven themselves very well, like against like Roman. So it's like, okay, they at least give you a like reason. It's not exactly perfect.
That's a more legit reason.
But it's like, okay.
Unlike Royal Rumble qualifiers, everybody else can declare, but Drew Gulak and somebody else I can't think of has to qualify. Like that makes no sense.
Right. Exactly. So King Corbin and Sami Zayn, they defeated Ray and Dominic. So they qualified.
Yeah, this was a unique way to do it. It wasn't singles matches; it was tag matches.
Yeah, and it could be seen as somewhat lazy, but I would also argue too, only a like 2-hour show, and on top of that, with the match being on like next Sunday, you didn't really have the luxury of doing singles here.
No. And then you could tell the story,
Right.
Especially if Ray and Dominic won. They're partners now, but it's every man for themselves.
Right.
And the chambers are not going to be working out. And we saw that technically in the main event, after the main event, with Cesaro and Bryan beating the tag champs of Ziggler and Roode, with the aftermath with Zayn and Corbin out there watching, but Zayn attacked Corbin, and they were all fighting. So you were saying before, oh, it's like a six-man tag match. Well, I don't know about now. It could still happen.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So they qualified, and also at the end of the night, Cesaro and Daniel Bryan also qualified. I'm not exactly sure that I would put in Daniel in there just because he has been losing a ton lately. I really thought that they probably should have added Nakamura into that match. I feel like he made a lot more sense. But as we saw earlier in the night, it looks like he could be involved with the IC title picture. So Matt, out of those 6 guys right now, who would you say is the overall favorite to win that chamber? I would say probably Kevin Owens.
I would say Owens, but I would say Owens, but I could see him somehow screwing him out of winning.
And I could. And they also have been building up Cesaro, so I could see him being in a mini thing because obviously we still have the chamber, and then obviously on Fastlane, which is on the 18th.
I'm gonna say Owens, and based on the attack by Rollins, I think Cesaro gets in the program with Rollins somehow.
Right.
So I'll say Owens. I think that's the easy pick. They could swerve us a bit, more surprise us, and go Cesaro. I think Cesaro is your only other option. You could do Brian, but again, he's been losing, so it doesn't feel as big as it could be. Yeah, so I would say Owens first, Cesaro. Again, it has to be a face.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that as well. So that is currently set. And as far as other things that happened on this show, we did have an IC title match between like Big E and like Nakamura, which we're seeing more and more tension between like Big E and Apollo Crews.
Everything about that was great and seemed legit.
Except it made sense.
The open challenge, Apollo comes out and wants to get, and Big E's like, no, you had your shot to get back to catering, back of the line. And the exchange they had, like not talking in the mic, but just having the mic pick it up, seemed like legit and seemed like a real conversation people in that situation would have. And Nakamura comes out, they have a match, get a nitpicking. I wish Apollo didn't interfere, but at the same time, Nakamura doesn't lose clean. I don't know what else you could have done to.
Yeah, to me, that was probably the only logical thing to really do there.
Nakamura technically still gets a win in the record books that he beat Big E, but Big E retains because Apollo.
And if there,
I take that back. Who did? No, I take that back. Apollo hit Big E, so Big E would win. I take back what I said. Yeah. So he doesn't win, but he doesn't lose. He doesn't take the pin as you kind of know about. So as much as yay for DQ finish, you kind of had to.
So I would assume if we're either getting another match between Big E and Apollo, and if they do it and end up doing just a singles match, they need to put in a stipulation there that if Apollo loses again, he can no longer challenge for the title as long as a Big E is champion. You would think so.
Or they throw Nakamura in triple threat.
Which I think is probably
An op-
more likely.
Yeah.
Just because he isn't exactly doing anything on the show. So that I think is probably where they're going. So the IC title has been a very important focal point on this show. But like between Sami Zayn and now with it just seems like that they actually have some sort of like direction.
They're doing something.
They are doing something with that. So I can't really complain about that too much. We also had everything going on with like Sasha and like Bianca, like the freaking shit with Shayna. And, like I was like, as soon as Vince found out that she had any sort of comic relief there, man, yeah, she's done for.
When my whole got popular, it's like, nope, you're screwed.
Yeah, you're screwed. So basically, Bianca and Sasha just like beat them up, and they didn't really like, they were obviously putting each other over before that confrontation. So and it was, and I believe that Bianca said on the Raw that she isn't deciding anytime soon on who she's going to face. I would imagine probably after the Elimination Chamber, we'll probably have a pretty good idea on who both Edge and like Bianca are going to face. So there was that. I'm trying to think. Was there anything else that happened on this show? Yeah,
Street Profits and Otis.
Yeah, like decent match there. Obviously, Street Profits. I would assume they're probably are getting a tag title rematch at the Chamber. So yeah, that was SmackDown.
Bailey and Liv Morgan.
Oh yeah, and Bailey and like Liv Morgan. So that was SmackDown, a pretty decent show. As like Matt said, a far superior show than what we typically get on Monday night, and this is now time, man, for the weekly rant section of how bad Monday Night Raw just fucking sucks. Like, oh god, like where do we begin with this horse shit?
I don't know.
First of all, why is Shane McMahon on the show? Why did we need Shane McMahon for Adam Pearce to announce, oh hey, we're having a WWE Championship Elimination Chamber?
My reasoning was on Talking Smack last week. I believe it was Talking Smack. Yeah, Paul Heyman was talking to Adam Pearce about you need a solid main event for the Raw. Worry about Raw or your jobs. Integrity. So I'm thinking, okay, and then suspiciously Shane McMahon comes out at the beginning, and then as Shane's like half-assing, congratulating Pierce on making a great main event for the Raw Chamber match, Adam's like looking like, what? Like, this is suspicious. He is sus.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought that was good, and maybe they follow up Monday. It would make sense, but as in my head, that's how it makes sense in my head. So if they don't follow up, then it's pointless.
So the participants, who, by the way, did not have to do any qualifying matches, nothing. They were just announced. So we have obviously Drew because he's champion, Sheamus, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy. Who were the other two?
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton and
hang on. I'll find it up here.
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Randy Orton, Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, The Miz, and Sheamus.
Yeah. So why is a fucking Miz in this match? Why is Sheamus in this match?
Sheamus is the only. Sheamus is the only one that makes sense because they're feuding. Like legit, if you take the bubble
and like Jeff Hardy, why is he in this match? Like, it's just like, is this like we couldn't throw in like Strowman, but I believe
He's hurt. He's having issues.
So I'm just like, man, guys, we could throw in like Bob Lashley here because he's at least has like one consistently. No, we couldn't have that done. We couldn't throw in a Keith Lee, someone who's actually new. No, okay. So that happened, and I'm like saying to myself, like it's like they don't even try to make anything make sense. Like, I mean, as like you said, really the only guy who kind of like makes sense
In the story of the stuff
is Sheamus. And the thing is about that he turned heel the previous week because Drew would give him a one-on-one title match. Only for a week later, he gets thrown in the chamber match for the WWE Championship. So he turned heel for absolutely no reason.
I don't know. I do not know.
I just
There's no. You have Orton, Hardy, Styles, Miz, and Sheamus, right? And Drew, we're not going to count him because he's champion, right? Going him up. On SmackDown, it's compared. You have Jay, Owens, Daniel Bryan, Cesaro, Sami Zayn,
and King
Corbin. Okay. I will give you Sammy's been but losing. I'll give you Dan Bryan losing. Baron Corbin's been winning against Mysterio. Cesaro's been winning. Jay's in storyline.
He's part of the story, so it at least makes sense.
And Kevin Owens, even though he's been losing, he's been relevant.
Yes.
That's right. I'll give you that. It's going to be almost hypocritical.
The only person who really doesn't make any sense is like
Daniel Bryan.
The only one, and even that, I'm like, fine, okay, you like some sort of alien name it in there, so fine.
And technically, he didn't win he won because of the tag team. And Cesaro won for him. You can use that if you really want to. Right. Okay. People are losing, have lost. Not everybody's winning, right? But if you compare the Sheamus, we just talked about Sheamus.
Who, by the way, has won a singles match in over 3 months.
Hardy has been losing.
And the pure person he's only been beating is Elias. That's it.
AJ Styles has been more relevant, but
he is fine because at least he has been consistently winning
stuff.
Matches. Yeah, he's at least winning. So
I will. Orton can make an argument. He's been relevant with the feud with the Fiend feud. I'll give you Orton. It's less egregious than like the Miz.
Miz makes absolutely no.
He's the Money in the Bank. So what can he cash it in right after he gets his ass?
Yeah.
Why would you?
Yeah.
And plus, he was in the Royal Rumble match, which he has,
and he has lost essentially every single match,
and he's feuding with Bad Bunny.
Like Bad Bunny.
Well, we've talked about how that makes sense, and it's a different issue.
So
he's not going to.
Right. He is clearly.
But he has a briefcase, which he can put himself in the main event if he wanted to.
If he wanted to, but it's just like.
So you compare those participants minus Drew to SmackDowns.
SmackDown is way more intriguing
because they've been more over as a whole, and even individually, you can say more important than what's Raw doing? Because Raw is just a cluster.
Yeah, just my God, like
I never thought I would destroy Raw like 5 years ago. I would watch it and be like, hey, that's bad. No, it's that bad.
it's literally everything about the show. I will say
There's
though,
some stuff.
there was some really good stuff, like such as Keith Lee versus Matt Riddle, phenomenal match. Amazing.
This was probably the best big guy match Keith Lee's put on. And I know maybe people were saying, well, he's not doing what he did in NXT in type of matches. I would save like all that really athletic stuff against. He pulled that out against Bobby Lashley in a big match against him one-on-one.
Which, by the way, they've been booking Lashley like a fucking monster.
Even though it was at the expense of Riddle, but still, he looks like
it got heat on him, and to me, that was really well done. However, I would like to know, how is Riddle getting another title match after Bobby Lashley beat the shit out of him last week?
That makes that
Keith Lee pins him clean, 100% clean this week, and he gets beat up after the match. He's still in this title match. That makes no sense.
Yet, well, even though he's going to be in it, yet on SmackDown, Big E's like, open challenge. No, I'm not going to face you. You lost. Give me somebody else. Even though we know Paul is going to, but it's going to lead it. There's development.
It's a concept of saying, hey, I'm not going to be facing the same guy every single week. If I defeated you, you're done.
Unless you force my hand.
Exactly.
But on Raw, it's like just Riddle facing there's context, but the context of SmackDown is more real.
Thought out.
You don't have to think that out.
And speaking of other feuds that I just want to see end, Charlotte Flair and Lacey Evans.
At least they freaking tried Rick to explain himself.
He did. I'll give him that, but it's still fucking stupid. Like it just, and it's so obvious to me, Matt. Lacey is definitely winning that title.
Better.
Like it's just like, if you're going to force her into this match,
she better. They better pull the trigger on her this time.
If not, then everything that was done was just a complete and utter waste of time.
Better.
And man, I tell you,
I'm a Lacey Evans fan. I still believe she should be a face. I don't get why she's a heel. All those promos she's in, and with the troop stuff,
and she completely has contradicted everything about that, because you recall when she was feuding with like Bayley, and her whole thing was, I am a proud mom. I have a daughter, blah blah blah, and she's over here with like Flair, like doing all of this scandalous shit.
It's all the you see her in promo, see her in Twitter, and the troop stuff. She is a veteran.
Yeah,
she is a solid. I don't know why I say solid mother, but I don't. Another advocate. But she should be the Rosie the Riveter or whatever. Is that the thing with the think you can? Like, I don't know, go that cheesy that direction. I don't want to say cheat. That's cheesy, but you catch my stereotypical thing. But she should be a face you build up. She came in as a heel, right? That should have been heel run and then turn her face. And
why does it seem like that every person who feuds with Charlotte Flair, it always sucks? It like literally always sucks. Like, I'm trying to think of the last feud that I actually liked of hers. It's been a while.
I think I blame mostly the writing and what they give her.
Like I'm not saying
they don't necessarily give her the best.
I'm not saying it's completely her fault, but at the same point, you look at someone and like I get it, it's like Roman, but take away everything with a story going on there through his promos and through his matches. Every single person who's in the ring with him always comes out on the better side, and it's consistent with Charlotte. Whenever you feud with her, you look worse. Hell, Rhea is still trying to get back what she had. Like that is the biggest creative blunder that this company has ever done. As far as women,
and Roman's something working because SmackDown is written by different people. Somebody, I don't know what the situation is, that's true, but I don't.
Oh,
I do not.
And speaking of something, it was apparently reported by like Sean Ross Sapp, the Fightful, that WWE is not going to be giving any sort of like bonuses or like raises or anything more. For pretty much, I think it's like more so with the corporate employees of the company, and like maybe I'm just reading too much into this, but isn't that kind of a like bad look for a company who just signed another $1 billion contract with NBC? Like,
it does look bad.
I'm just like, give me one good reason why you're doing this to these people, especially now in a freaking pandemic, man.
I wasn't even thinking that. I was thinking that.
But it's like
you just
signed another $1 billion contract, and they are like freezing those assets. In which, if you read Russell Votes or he said everyone is extremely pissed off right now. Which
can I play devil's advocate? That's not really proven, not really happened. The point is that if you think the $1 billion all at once, I think it's over. Isn't it? They get it over.
Yeah.
That's my devil's advocate. That doesn't help.
Yeah, but at the same point, they are getting over $200 million per.
I'm just pointing that perspective. I don't agree.
I see your point though. So,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's just like do we have to like hoard everything? Like they have 3 separate $1 billion contracts. You mean to tell me that you can't like not be jerks here? Like that's all I want to say.
Going back to Raw, another feud I want is the New Day.
It's just like every single week.
It's in some form of Xavier Woods versus Retribution,
and eventually it's going to be. Yeah, it's just end that feud. But so
that's all I have to say about
that. So that happened. And Edge absolutely just burying the freaking Miz. That was great. Like Edge. I mean, outside of like Roman, there's really no one else in the company who is a like better talker consistently. Like it's just how he was completely just addressed this man on the freaking microphone. It just brought me so much joy and just shed to film light of just how much of a freaking joke it is that this man has that brave case and everything that he's been saying every single week.
I think it's more of an indictment of, again, I'm going to go back to what they are giving Miz. Because the point is, why are you telling me you're going to do it? You're going to disappear.
Exactly.
Again, it's like not more of an indictment on the Miz, more an indictment of what they're telling them to say and do. They're not thinking this through.
It's like, hey, like, why? Like, are you trying to like absolutely bury me here? But
it's character he's playing.
Yeah,
So it makes sense in context for Edge to be like, why this stupid?
But I will say though, I'm enjoying everything going on with like Bad Bunny and Damian Priest. I'm completely
He
fine.
gets the win over Angel Garza.
Yeah, and apparently there was some like report earlier this week that apparently a lot of guys and girls in the back are kind of mad that he's getting so much TV time. It's just like, guys, like if you can't see why he's in this position and why it's important for him to like be that, I don't know what the freaking tell me here. So there was that, and then obviously freaking
and then I saw that, and then when I saw it was Shayna versus Naomi again, I fast forwarded it. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
What else? We talked about fast forward.
Drew. Then obviously Drew versus Orton, which basically ends when Sheamus tries to deliver a like road kick to like, and then Drew gives him a Claymore, and that's how Monday Night Raw goes off of the air. This show sucks. I hate everything. Well, like, you know,
not everything.
Mostly everything.
There's always cracks in the darkness.
Yeah, so that was Monday Night Raw. And now we're going to move on to AEW Dynamite. We will group in all of our NXT talks since we're also giving our NXT takeover Vengeance Day predictions. So AEW this week. I will say, Matt, I had a ton of fun watching the show. There were still a few things that didn't exactly make any sense.
Right.
I will admit that, but I mean, we got a whole bunch of things that happened on the show, and for how like not excited I was after last week's show, and what they had advertised, I was like, man, this show looks rough. And then
it always happens.
It's just like that freaking first hour was the fastest hour I have.
That is true.
That was the easiest hour I have ever watched on the show, and it just goes to show you when they have stories you are invested in, like time just it goes by so damn quickly. I mean, like that. The only thing I wasn't crazy about the show was the opener. Like, and even that, it was I
thought it was as a wrestling match of the night.
Yeah, like I mean,
I can argue that.
Like that wasn't. I was pleasantly surprised.
I hate myself
That they actually had a like wrestling match. Is what floored me.
If you want a critique, maybe they should have switched like the order of the match, did the wrestling match, and then the flying style to finish.
Mm-hmm.
But that is that critique. But then like the last half to quarter of the match, like I said, was more a wrestling match, and I was like, "I'll be damned." I'm not hating the Billy Janela match.
Yeah, and obviously Darby, he retains, which obviously not that big of a surprise. This was just pretty much was just to like give like Darby a title match before him and Sting eventually had their street fight against Team Taz, which we saw them later in the night where they kidnapped Darby, and like just seeing
something you could go to jail for.
Yeah, and Taz it's like, hey Sting, hey, like look what I got. It's just the way they freaking said it. It was just so funny to me. But so basically, they basically like throw Darby into a like trash bag, a body bag, and it's clipped to it. It's clipped to a like car, and they just drive off with him obviously hanging there. So then Sting went to go after them, and that was pretty much it.
That was it.
So that was
Sting
pretty.
walked off into the tunnel.
Yeah, so
I mean, honestly, what was he going to do in the contest after?
Exactly. So
there's no follow up, but what are you going to do? Yeah. Honest to God.
So I'm like Lee Johnson. He obviously was in a tag team match with Cody against Peter Avalon and Cesar. I forget
Hernandez. I don't know.
Yeah. So basically, this was pretty much all about like Lee Johnson and them saying, he is 0-29, has not won a single match, and that was, and the commentary was constantly hammering this consistently down, and to my surprise, Matt, Lee, he actually rolls up Peter Avalon, and he gets a victory. I was really surprised by that. This is definitely a kid who I think has some potential. Obviously, he needs to cultivate a character and everything here. So definitely someone like
I'd rather have him roll up Peter Avalon than the other guy who looked more impressive. Body wise, because Avalon's there just to get his ass beat.
And just like kind of like it's a point that I think like everyone has been seeing is like the is like ages of a ton of like these guys, whether it's MJF, Sammy, Darby, obviously Lee Johnson, and many other guys, unlike Jungle Boy, who are very young wrestlers. And I think that is the one consistent thing that this company does way better than what WWE does. Is like they try and consistently push younger talent, because if like you look over on like Raw, Matt, and I actually just like went through like basically all of like WWE's top people outside of like Sasha Banks, and like Rhea. Everyone else is at least 31 years old, and outside of like Bianca, Bayley, and Charlotte, everyone else is at least 35 years old. That's a problem, and it's something like I've been kind of seeing, but like now I think it's becoming more and more of a like story that definitely needs to be.
Tom Brady would like to say hello.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it's like freaking Tom Brady. So, but
Jesus.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I think WWE needs to address. But at the same time, AEW, they're doing a really good job about that. So yeah,
the flip point, it's a double-edged sword. It can be. If you have the young guys, AEW has, you got to make sure they do get established, because they're, for the most part, I don't say for the most part, maybe not as big of a name.
No.
But some of those on the list you mentioned, in the AEW bubble, if you will, are different names. As Sammy, I think, number one. Yeah.
Like Jungle Boy is definitely getting better.
He's getting better. So if done right, it's okay.
I will say though, Sammy, like this storyline. What are your thoughts on this thing right now?
I want to nitpick on that backstage segment.
Yeah, I was about to actually do
Was that about the phone?
Yeah, it's like, hey, like you were
come in. Are you recording? Are you recording?
Yeah, I will say that that was like guys, come on, but I do appreciate that it's.
But as the segment as a whole,
as the segment as a whole, and the execution of this was just beautifully done. And man, this is going to really launch some CME because between that and I even texted you this on Wednesday night. I was like, man, Sammy has come a long way.
Yes.
Since the inner circle first formed, because I said even 6 months in after they actually formed, I was like, I'm really nervous when they do eventually split up and he has to go out on his own. But now I'm really confident that he's going to be a really good singles guy. I'm also asking myself as well, is Sammy really being are him and MJF really enemies here? Because the conspiracy theorists in me thinks, what if Sammy and MJF are in cahoots, and this is sort of a master plan to boot out Chris Jericho from the inner circle?
Yeah, because yeah, that's true. The twist, but I did like when Sammy did announce that they're breaking up, that he's stepping away. The little thing of MJF's reaction.
Oh yeah, he didn't give a single shit.
He smiled. He had that smile. And as Sammy walked away, he smiled and he turned to Chris and said, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay." Like he flipped on the dime there, which is a nice little subtle touch.
And if you saw it too, he came out of the hill tunnel and exited through the
I did
the babyface tunnel. So that's
No, go ahead. I'm
So
sorry.
obviously Sammy said he's going to be going away. And by the way, before that happened, the freaking Acclaimed are awesome. Max Caster just shit on MJF and Chris Jericho was great.
They're still gonna win me over.
They are so damn entertaining.
I don't know the rapping or his version of rapping.
I love it. It's freaking awkward and it's funny.
They gotta win me. I'm still on the fence.
Yeah, but I'm completely in.
Athletic ability, no question about it. Work
and they do have parts of where you can clearly tell Max is definitely is he like Montez Ford of the group, whereas Anthony Owens clearly is like Dawkins.
I wish he doesn't go. Yeah,
that gets so
fam.
Yeah.
I should do that randomly doing the rest of the podcast. You'd be talking seriously. Yeah.
So obviously MJF and Chris Jericho, they win. And speaking of the tag teams, explain to me how this makes any damn sense, Matt.
Okay. I'll try.
The Young Bucks said, "Oh yeah, we really wanted to win that tag team battle royal last week, and we were going to choose you guys, they were going to be choosing Gallows and Anderson to face at the pay-per-view, but they kind of screwed up and Santana and Ortiz eliminated them. So they said, okay, well, we feel like defending our titles next week against Santana and Ortiz. The only problem with that is, Matt, remember, say about 3 or 4 weeks ago that the Inner Circle had a triple threat tag team match where they said the winner would go after the tag team championships. And who won that? Who might you ask, Matt? MJF and Chris Jericho. So again, I ask, why are these guys getting a title match?
That's true. I forgot about that. I wasn't thinking that. I was thinking, are the Young Bucks and Gallows and Anderson on this? They're not. Doesn't seem like they're on the exact same page.
No, like they're definitely teasing tension with them and like Kenny, obviously, but it's just like.
But I'm like, why? When they came in, you didn't agree with what they do, and you were hesitant to do.
Yeah.
But you want to reward them with a title match. Like, that didn't make sense. And then you do add what you just said, which I totally forgot, that MJF and Jericho won the damn match to be the tag team, and yet Ortiz.
It makes zero. It makes zero sense.
Like when I see Young Bucks on my team, like something's not going to make sense here.
Yeah, and
More time.
And this was the only thing that really annoyed me. I was like, guys, can we at least try to make this make sense? So official for next week. But I will say this on that. They did give me a little hint of doubt that I could see Santana and Ortiz winning those tag team titles just based on everything going on with the inner circle. And to me, Matt and Nick, they do not need those titles,
especially what they're doing.
Right. So I'm like, you know what? That's not as predictable. I still expect them to like win. However, this is not as like oh for sure. So there's that.
Yeah. I would be okay with. I would rather Santana or Ortiz win. I think he could do more with that.
Right.
But if I had to put money on it, I would say Young Bucks retain. So I actually did that. So that means Ortiz Santana would win. Yeah, it's this seems like I don't want to say convoluted mess, but that's not the right phrase. But like consistency is not together.
No. What do you think about the things going on with like Hangman and like Matt Hardy right now?
I'm intrigued and was entertained tonight.
Yeah,
I like it better than the Dark Order.
Right, and I
really do.
Yeah, like Matt is just killing it, in this role here.
I prefer
this
Matt Hardy.
Like it's so much better right now.
Yeah,
and Eve, I was reading a recent interview that like Tony Khan did, and like he pretty much made it known he wasn't a big fan of the whole teleportation thing
or how they did it,
right?
So
yeah, and which it kind of confirms like he probably said. And even like Matt probably had a hint. It's like it's time for me to like change things up here, and he has really fitted with this like big money Matt persona, which has been really entertaining. I really love that. Like he's just dead set on having a part of his associates, and he tried to get Hangman drunk and
see that.
It's like he succeeded. However, he did not sign the papers that he was asking him to sign.
Didn't I totally missed that?
Yeah, he switched them out at the very last second. So I was like, well,
I missed that detail.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, like completely switched it out there.
I had it because I was laying down.
Yeah. So
okay.
So one of two things I think were signed here. Either one, Hangman would get like 30% of like Matt's pay, or number two, he probably signed a contract to have a like one-on-one match at like Revolution, which I think is probably is going to happen because that feels like kind of where things are exactly going there. So yeah, this has been good. I definitely think though that eventually Hangman is going to be end up in the Dark Order at some point. I just feel like this is them just trying to like go the like not easy routes to eventually get there. So yeah, but a very good segment. None the least here.
Yeah, it was.
And
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
we get Kenny Omega on a golf course.
Okay, there's two halves with this right here. And okay, one, does Morpheus have a freaking life? And how does he know where? Does he stalking? Why is Morpheus everywhere?
He has a tracky DVD.
How? First of all, another thing I didn't make any sense is how he got there, right? To whoever home he's on. Naya. And then he asked, "Can I have a ride?" How did you get here, sir? You know what? Like I sit there and go, God damn, it's annoying to me, but at the same time,
It's funny.
it's fun. I hate it, but I enjoy it. Right?
Right.
Second, I like, and I couldn't say it clear, get totally shoots the fan this shot. I was like, who's back there? Well, it's probably Callis.
He completely cheats it.
Puts it in the hole because you made it in.
And hey,
like that
he
part.
definitely has a better goal swing than like Charles Barkley. That was definitely Ken Kipper. So
Yeah, I got to see the side by side.
okay, so that this was just basically hyping up for the eventual tag match between Kenny and Kenta versus Archer and John Moxley. And we also had a first round women's eliminator match between Thunder Rosa versus legit Layla Hirsch, and this was a very good match. I continue to say, man, anything involving Thunder Rosa, it's going to be good. And this was a very good match. I do wish that they would stop putting this in the freaking 9:30 half hour and actually put it on the like 9 o'clock hour because I would like to see not a commercial parade in between this here, but that being said, obviously
In the match?
yeah.
I feel like they do. I feel like JR's giddy every match because they do picture in picture. They say, "Well, if this if this doesn't end before the break, we're gonna see pictures." They seem like they do it all the time.
Yeah. So obviously obviously Thunder Rosa, she wins, and I think she faces the winner. I want to say she faces the winner of. I don't think she faces the. Or I think she faces the winner of like Nyla Rose and Tay Conti, maybe. I'll have to pull them. Let me see if I can find that here.
Do they have wrestling? Please have it like embedded.
Okay.
They don't have it embedded. How dare you?
Well, here I think I found it. No, that's not. Oh well, but like Thunder Rosa, she moves on a really good match. I swear. Actually, no, I think she faces the winner of Serena Deeb and like Riho. I think that's who she would face the like. I swear, if Riho beast, Thunder Rosa. I will cut the most heel promo on this podcast you will have ever seen.
I don't care. Rio hasn't been on for like 11 months.
Yeah, and like I'm already. She's going to the freaking Serenity. I'm like, fine, okay, but I swear, the only people who should be winning this tournament is either Thunder Rosa or Britt Baker. The only two, and so I'm praying that is what they're going to do. They also announced that all of the like matches over on the like Japan side are going to be are going to be aired on the YouTube on this Monday night. So I kind of had a feeling that's probably where they were going. That was made official, and lastly, Matt, was our main event between Kenny Omega and Kenta versus Lance Archer and John Mox. And the one thing that I took away from this match is like, damn it, this is how you book Lance Archer. This is what they should have been booking with Lance Archer from the very beginning. Yes, he lost. It took literally 4 people, including the Impact Tag Team Champions, Kenta, and the IWGP or IWGP, the AEW heavyweight champion. I'm like, see, like, this is not hard. It's like that was beautiful.
Because you're not going to let Moxley take the pin.
No, absolutely. And like Kenta
and Omega's not going to lose.
Exactly.
Shouldn't lose.
And so pretty much Archer was the only option, and they at least did it in a way where he looks like a freaking ass. I mean, he kicked a ton of freaking ass in this match. Like Kenny and Kenta sold their asses off for him, and that double foot stomp that Kenta did on that table was just magnificent. And then fighting in the kitchen area, hitting each other with fresh potatoes was hilarious. So yeah, I really enjoyed this match. These guys just put on a performance where I was completely expecting. Yeah, so a really good show.
No, it was. I think it was a good show. I guess better than what we recently had. But yeah, not really much to really hate about it. That actually with matches and stuff, minor stuff, and maybe we. But isn't that with every wrestling show that is good? It's always something that.
Right. And to me, like, they progressed so many things on the show, and we had some really good wrestling as well. It's like you can't ask for.
It's too
much.
It was a solid show.
It was a solid show.
I mean,
and that was the same thing that I would say also about NXT this week. But it's like, man, there are some weeks that where like both shows just kicked ass. Like, that was how I would describe both of the shows this week.
These last couple weeks, again, enjoy tag team wrestling. The NXT has been the show for you. We had another just great round of matches here. We opened the show up with one with MSK for Battle Phantasma.
These guys just beat the crap out of each other. A really fast-paced, fun match. Not exactly surprised here MSK wins.
They would go to the finals. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they do win. I would.
I think they probably should win. But then again, it's like, hey, the Grizzly Young veterans, they were in the finals last year, so I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's right.
True. So there's doubt,
but at the same time, is who are the current tag team champions?
Yes.
And I'm like, well, I don't think they're going to be booking a heel team as a heel team. So I'm leaning towards
MSK. I mean, they could do young veterans, but or somehow finagle a triple threat match. But I doubt they will do that. I would go MSK. Like if they were going to lose, they would have to lose in the finals with just the hype coming in with them, each individual. Coming in. So yeah, this was a good, enjoyable match as expected.
Johnny Gargano.
Let's talk that. I think this was Johnny comes out in a wheelchair for a broken arm.
He has a broken arm, but he can't walk. This makes no sense.
John.
No sense.
John. The pain is the nerve damage from not even the pain because he has nerves connected from his arm. Don't you know the whole body works as one, John?
No.
You know the song,
that's wrong.
The ankle is connected to the leg bone. Everything is connected, John. You're going to tell me wrong? You, Dr. John?
Yes. In this case, it makes no damn sense.
The nerve pain, it was so bad, John, that it affected his ability to walk.
Anyways,
but it was funny.
So basically, the whole thing with the Johnny is he was teasing, I'm not going to be able to compete on Sunday. I was like, this feels like a complete work. Sure enough.
The volume is off. Wait, I think that's Eric said the volume is off.
Really?
Well, wait a minute. Okay, let me double check on these YouTube.
Let
me double check on these. I hear it on here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I think we're good.
Yeah. Yeah. Eric, is your computer muted?
Yeah. So,
because it's coming through here, I don't. I guess tell me if it's better. Tell me if you hear it, because on my phone on channel it works. What the hell are we saying?
Johnny. So basically, the whole thing was, I'm not going to be able to compete. We eventually get Johnny in the ring, and he's being legitimately carried into the ring. It's set ever so gently on the wheelchair.
I love the over exaggeration of heels when they do this.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of BS.
Yeah. So basically, Johnny was demanding that Regal suspend Kushida for like viciously attacking him last week, which gave him a broken arm, in which Regal eventually came out. He said, Johnny, you know full well that our NXT medical team cleared you last week. And Johnny said, you would be like those like a hot shot doctors, and he said that he went to his own personal physicians, and everything. So I will say on that this was a very entertaining, segment for sure. I did notice they did. Do you remember the spot where Shawn Michaels super kicked Bret Hart when he was in his wheelchair?
So,
yeah, this was pretty much them kind of going off of that there. So I thought that was really entertaining.
I thought this was the best. If you the It's a cheesy Joe, but cowardly Joe work that Johnny has done.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just really was entertaining. I think well done on this stuff. So I thought, yeah, this was good.
And then obviously Kushida, he just like awkwardly just like stands right next to
Yourself. What?
no, and then he obviously beats up Austin Theory, and then he super kicks or he like beats up Johnny there. So this is eventually said, and I think actually here's that in the segment Johnny he'd be like, oh, he's completely fine. Yeah.
By accident, because
Yeah.
Kushida grabs the title and he comes and he's pulling him. And he's like, all right,
Yeah.
crap.
Yeah, and eventually Kushida eventually had a match against Austin Theory, a pretty decent match, which ends in a disqualification, as I recall, right?
But I mean, double check here.
I believe so. But
what the hell?
yeah, okay, fine. But
Oh wait, that was later in the night. Yeah, DQ.
Okay.
Kushida wins by DQ.
yeah, and like Johnny, he attacks Kushida along with Austin Theory, and then we see Austin Theory. He gets dragged under the NXT ring, and Johnny pull someone out, but it's not Austin Theory, it's Dexter Lewis, and just scares the ever living shit out of Johnny, and also scares Austin Theory. We eventually have those two in the ring. Kushida and like Loomis put their submissions onto Johnny and onto Austin Theory. So it looks like we are getting Johnny versus Kushida at Takeover. So thank God that was just a like storyline down there. So that was good. And any more thoughts on that there, man?
No. We had Xia Li versus Cora Jade, I believe her name is, and Xia Li again destroys her.
Was it me, or did you like have the feeling like, man, I want Xia Li to kick the shit out of both Caden Carter and
I thought that even like in their promos.
okay.
leading into
Okay, I felt the exact same way because
yeah,
they were annoying as hell.
It was to me wasn't annoying. I don't know. It seemed
Fake.
Promos, not even fake. Cocky. Like the promos for their tag team tournament match. I don't know. There was something about it, but like it's good to be cocky and confident going into it. To tell us they're confident. It's something.
Yeah,
It's I don't know what it is.
it's kind of like too. Hey, why are you bothering with like Xia Li here?
Do you have like the Genghis Khan here leading them and just telling them to destroy,
Yeah,
crush?
yeah, and to and like Poa, poor guy, like he upset her and just grabbed him by the collar and then eventually Xia Li just proceeds to just kick the shit out of both Casey and Caden. A much different character, I would say, than we have ever seen, which is intriguing. I do wonder though what the shelf life on this thing is, because it does feel like it's very similar with the theme where I don't think that she could ever hold a title at all, just because you would ask yourself, well, how would she ever lose? And to me, she's a character where it's going to be hard to book. Similar with like Dexter Loomis as well. It's like if that person does win a title, it's like, well, how do you book them to lose? So that is my only question about this character is like, how are they going to do that? Speaking of characters, we see Scarlett Bordeaux in Mr. Regal's office, basically requesting that, hey, I think it's better if I request it because if he comes, yeah.
That's not what I took away. I took away the seduction of the request.
Get your head out of the freaking.
You didn't go there.
So yeah. So we get official for next week. Santos Escobar versus Karrion Kross, and where we will say a moment of prayer for Santos Escobar, because my God, Karrion Kross is going to beat the ever living shit out of him, and we saw evidence of that where basically Escobar sends Joaquin Wild and Raul Mendoza to go after and take out Karrion Kross, and Karrion Kross just beat the ever living shit out of them, and it's like, man, you fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You fucked up, and yeah, like, I mean, I am interested to see how this goes, but man, it's like, I don't know how you don't book this where Karrion Kross just doesn't beat the ever living shit out of your cruiserweight champion. And I'm not sure how I feel about that, because we kind of burying your own champion, but I feel like that this is what the storyline calls for, you know?
Yeah, I'm interested on how that's working, because Escobar called out everybody and said he's the better champion. So Karrion Kross is like, no, screw you.
Okay, and
we had Shotzi, Blackheart, and Ramon versus Candice LeRae and Indie Wrestling have the way.
Yeah, not really surprised of the result here. I kind of feel like this was probably where they were done, because obviously you aren't going to be having two heel tag teams go up against each other. So like Shotzi and Ember will be facing Raquel and like Dakota Kai. I'm fully expecting Raquel and Dakota Kai to probably win here. I will say though, not as common, just because currently the NXT Women's Champions are currently Shayna and Nia. But does that really matter here? Not exactly sure, but I kind of feel like that's probably where they should go. But we shall see where that goes. Trying to see if there's anything else. Oh, this freaking nerd.
Oh, before we get to that, one little gripe about that match is in the cover, the ending.
Yeah,
I was like, why would that make? Why? If you're legal, why? That I didn't really wasn't the biggest fan of that. But I had my biggest gripe of that match. Okay.
Yeah. So
time to go.
Cameron Grimes, who is now apparently a very rich man. He's a knockoff $1 million man now, because he invested in GameStop, and he has more money than he could ever think on how to spend. He comes into the arena on this Lamborghini, just giving out money to anyone, everyone.
Invested money, John. Are you jealous that he's richer than you?
Yes, because I'm still in fucking debt right now. Fucking asshole. So he just, this is basically Cameron Grimes just celebrating how rich that he is. He invested in GameStop, and he invested in like Dogecoin.
Dogecoin, but he's funny. He said Dogcoin. I popped for that.
Dogecoin, and he talked about like he is like more richer than like Elon Musk and all these extremely rich people. So
I like the exaggeration.
Yeah, so
I'm curious to see where this is going.
Yeah, I am, because I'm like, this is like a complete 180 from what his character was. So it's like, okay,
which makes sense with money.
Yeah. I will say though, Vince is going to absolutely love this man on the main roster from a comedic relief.
He's screwed.
Like he is R-Truth. He's the next R-Truth for sure.
He's the next My Hole.
Yeah, so like I definitely see that happening. And lastly, the last thing on the show, we have the like final semifinal match, the Dusty Cup, between the Grizzled Young Veterans versus Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. I will say, Matt, I was a little bit surprised that Thatcher and Ciampa did not end up winning this. I kind of question why they had the Grizzled Young Veterans with this, to be perfectly honest.
The only solution will be to see what they do. Their only answer would be to see where they take what they do with Thatcher after.
And the thing is, I'm not crazy about them having another match. I kind of prefer them being as a tag team right now, to be perfectly honest with you.
They could again. We have to. I'm not. Right. I'm passing judgment until after.
Yeah. I mean, because I am expecting MSK to actually win. I don't think that they beat Lorcan and Danny Burch. But
the only good thing is I can buy MSK beating Grizzled Young Veterans more so than Thatcher and Ciampa.
Right.
So silver lining there.
Yeah.
Again, wait to see who what happens with Ciampa and Thatcher with the afternoon effect. I feel like I don't want to split that up.
No.
Right.
I don't either. So
we'll see what happens.
So yeah, that was NXT, and now we're going to quickly give you our NXT Takeover Vengeance predictions. I believe, Matt, you have the card up there, and I believe we have like 6 matches, right?
Or 5.
Is it 5? Okay. So yeah.
And this is coming from this time WWE's own website.
Okay.
So we just talked about it. MSK versus Grizzled Young Veterans.
Yeah, I'm rolling with MSK here, and only because since the current champions are heels.
You need the
yeah.
And
to me, MSK just has way more steam right now, and just like Grizzled Young Veterans, yeah, they are a really good in-ring tag, but they are just extremely boring to me. That's kind of like the vibe I get. Whereas with MSK, they did have something. I think it's probably.
I think it's MSK. I think you can see MSK versus Grizzled Young Veterans the feud after, because that makes sense.
Right.
So I think that's what eventually will happen there. Then we move on to Ember Moon, Shotzi versus Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. The wrinkle in this is up for your women's tag team champions are. I think if Dakota Kai and Raquel lose, Kai takes the pin to protect Raquel.
Which I don't think it's going to happen. I think it should be Raquel and Dakota Kai. They really shouldn't overthink this. To me, Shotzi and Ember, a decent tag team, but there's no reason why Dakota and Raquel should not win this, because they definitely need to take advantage of Raquel being in the ring, whether it's on Raw, SmackDown, or hell, even if it's on WrestleMania, which that could very well happen. I would rather have Raquel on there than a Shotzi, Blackheart, and Ember Moon. So that's what I'm hoping.
I'm saying I'll go with this.
Yeah.
I'm saying I would one Gonzalez in a Phil. I'm saying maybe we'll go with Moon and Blackheart.
All right.
Then we have Gargano for Kushida for the North American Championship. I got Kushida.
Yeah, this is all the Kushida here.
Too much. oh my God, what's his name?
Dexter Loomis. Like to me, it's almost too obvious that like you might think, oh, they might just keep on Johnny, but there's really no reason for Johnny to be holding onto that title because he needs a signature win.
Yeah.
And to me, this is the time to put the title onto him and start to have him have a long sustaining title reign, which I think he will absolutely have. And there's a lot of potential really good matches with him. Hell, I wouldn't mind eventually seeing him versus Karrion Kross, which those two, that would be interesting, especially for Kushida and like his style. He could absolutely beat Karrion Kross there. So yeah, I'm definitely going with Kushida here.
Triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship: Io Shirai, Toni Storm, Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah, I'm rolling with an Io here. I will say though, it will not surprise me if Toni wins, but I think she's the only other option in this match.
I'd say if Raquel, Gonzalez, and Kokai lose, I say Io wins. Because if you're doing Io versus Raquel, because again, I would rather have her take it off of Io because you're building her up.
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes and Toni, well,
if as you said, if Raquel and Dakota win, that doesn't make sense.
I would see a title change more likely.
But I do think though, if that happens, it's definitely not easy that pin there. I definitely think that they would build to a singles match between Toni and Io eventually. So that would make sense.
So I'm gonna go with the chain officially, like I said, Ember and Blackheart to win, because if they do Io and Raquel, which they built, and there's somewhat of history there.
Yeah, I actually did think about that, and just because of that, I'm also MLB chain.
And then to be fair, and then to go off of what we said, I would rather see. I would rather see Raquel and Io on, let's say, if they do a Mania match, right? They throw that on there for 2 nights.
Right.
For Raquel to get that signature win on Mania, and then you can have Ember and Shotzi versus Shayna and Nia if they're still champions by then. And then last but not least, which is probably going to be the most hard-hitting match of the night, Finn Balor and Pete Dunne for the NXT Championship.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest, not as invested as probably a lot of people are here, just because I don't think there's really any like mystery here on who's going to exactly win, because it's pretty clear to me we are just waiting until we eventually get to Finn versus Cross. And I'm sure it's going to be a great match, just not as invested here, but Finn should, and he definitely will win here.
I'm all in because I just know that they're going to beat the holy tar out of each other.
Yeah. So,
what did you? To go back to the TV real quick. What did you think of the stick downs between all the matches? The hype.
That was cool. Definitely gave like MMA feel there too, where they showed all of like matches who are good to face each other.
That was cool. Yeah, one critique is maybe it seemed forced. If it was live, okay, you're facing off. They get off and come back. Yeah. It was obviously like pre-recorded, which you can tell.
Obviously was.
Right. But it almost felt kind of, I don't know, but nitpick. But I like it's something different, and you see everybody, and it.
If you could do that, I mean,
I like it. So yeah, so that is TakeOver, and yes, we will be doing a live reaction to as soon as Takeover goes off the air on Sunday.
Right.
There probably won't be. Just expect no wrestling review show next Friday. I have my schedule. I am working in the evening, doing something in the evening, and it's going to run into SmackDown and be a whole thing. So we're going to be having the week off unless if John records his own thing.
Yeah,
but
we'll see. We'll see how things go. It's more so depends on if anything really big happens on either show next week. I might consider it. But
don't expect a live show.
No. But episode 78 of our podcast drops tomorrow. We talk about the Gina Carano story that, and as we saw earlier today, that Gina ain't enough. So that thing is getting uglier. So we touched on that. We touched on WandaVision episode 5. When we gave our thoughts on the Super Bowl. We also discussed Bellator going over on Showtime, UFC 255 preview for tomorrow night, and we also had some hockey talk as well. So yeah, that will be on the channel at 3 o'clock tomorrow. And as always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. And as Matt said, we will be on here on Sunday night after NXT Takeover. After NXT Takeover goes off of the air,
Day,
Event Day, which should be St. Valentine's Day. St. Valentine's Day Massacre, but that's for a different day. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter at MJ and MJ Make a Podcast. And for Matt and for John, we shall see you guys on Sunday.